Hello, I'm Eric Snodgrass. Thank you for watching today's midday Western U.S. regional forecast video brought to you by Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, there is a lot to be learned from this animation. Right now, the North Pacific Ocean is in a configuration that is quite volatile. You can see a lot of troughs and ridges. It is largely unblocked, and this particular trough right in through here is going to be causing a lot of problems for the Northwest, sweeping through the north central part of the United States over the coming days. That powerful low will be digging, and that is a substantial difference between what we've seen recently as systems that first hit the Northwest and then raced off to eastern Canada. But really what I want you to see here is that the jet stream across the Pacific is quite active, which means we're going to have a lot of active days in the Pacific Northwest, and our chances of seeing above average temperatures are reduced because of that. And the last thing, this will be something I cover at the end of the video too. There's a powerful typhoon that is sitting south of Japan, but over the next 3 to 4 days will be moving toward Japan. And the concern is that as this tropical system, this typhoon, gets absorbed into the jet stream flow, it will really increase the temperature gradient and crank up the flow of the jet stream here in the coming days. And that again will basically take aim on the western United States and really cause some problems. So it'll be neat to see how that one system perturbs the flow way out over the next 15 days. So we'll get to it in just a few seconds. Let's go straight to our all hazards weather map by weather.gov. Well, as discussed on Monday, we knew that in parts of Montana getting into the north central plains that we were going to be seeing this map get quite a bit more colorful. We've got winter weather advisories, winter storm watches, winter storm warnings out for this area. We will be seeing quite a bit of below normal temperatures moving through parts of the Northwest as the system sweeps through, and the extremely windy conditions with it. And speaking of those windy conditions, I want to take your attention first to California, where we do have our high wind advisories. We have red flag advisories, red flag warnings out, and we need to talk about why. So if we just look out here to Wednesday afternoon, so this is tomorrow afternoon, we can see the full effect of that low that's racing 1,000 miles away from us. It's way off there in parts of Montana moving through, but look at what it's doing here in Central Valley of California. In the Sacramento Valley, we will be seeing wind gusts. You can see the numbers there, anywhere between 25 and maybe as high as 45 miles an hour and at times in this area. And those wind gusts, of course, are going to be accompanied by some extremely dry conditions. And the dry conditions I'm talking about, well, take a look at this. This is looking at humidity, relative humidity Wednesday afternoon. And we see a lot of those numbers there in the single digits or in the low teens. And that's because the wind flow has to basically funnel between our two sets of mountains here. And anytime the air is forced to go over the mountains, whether it comes from this direction or this direction, it has to go over and then descend, where it adiabatically compresses and warms and also squeezes all the moisture out on the windward side of the mountains. That's why the Central Valley of California is so dry and has this Mediterranean type climate. But as a result of having strong winds in there with such low humidities, we're very concerned about the threat of fire. And we can see this extends down into Southern California as well. In fact, on Thursday, take a look at what the winds will be doing. We certainly see the strength of our Santa Ana winds here pressing through Southern California and also Southern Nevada. And this again is just another component of the wind systems that control the humidity in Southern California, which is why we have the red flag warnings out and the wind advisories out for middle and end of this week. So this is all happening as a part of that major low pressure system that is sweeping through, well, initially through the Northwest. So take a look at it. Here is kind of our weather map that shows you the type of precipitation and its timing. As we just watch that system move through the next few days, let's just backtrack it and see what we're going to see here. So this is now getting into midday and then Tuesday afternoon. The system is forming here on the U.S.-Canadian border. Plenty of cold air in southern Alberta for snow, and that snow then begins to move into parts of Montana. Throughout parts of the Rocky Mountains here in Idaho, sweeping over to the Blue Mountains, and then eventually over to coastal Oregon and Washington, some heavy rainfall anticipated today as well. But this system is really just now getting going by 1 a.m. Wednesday. As we progress through Wednesday morning, this will be the quarter that I'll be watching for the heaviest snow in the Northwest. So keep a close eye out on this area first. Then the low takes shape and moves out of the Northwest by Thursday. So the main thing we're worried about after this system leaves is look at the spacing of the isobars. The closer they are together, the faster the winds. That's representing a big change in pressure, and changes in pressure drive wind. So we can see a very windy day again on Thursday. especially through parts of California, but it extends up into Oregon as well. So that system is out, and we seem to calm down a bit as that system passes through. But by the time we get into Friday and Saturday morning, we have our next chance at a coastal low coming in that's really going to take aim primarily on British Columbia, but could be bringing in some precipitation to parts of coastal Oregon and Washington. But after we get this first system out, a relatively benign week on tap for much of the western United States. Okay, when's the next system really get here that we have to worry about? Well, next Monday, the 14th, into Tuesday, the 15th, we are watching a system, and its exact position and timing is a little bit off right now. I'll keep switching model run to model run, but it seems to be bringing in a lot of moisture that will be slamming into the western coast of North America, specifically British Columbia, but we'll be bringing precipitation. Look at that. See there? By the 15th into the 16th, smacking this into the west coast of North America. In fact, this is an atmospheric river event, and I'll be showing you that in a few moments. So the potential exists out here around day 10 for some very, very heavy rainfall, okay? And you just see that that system blows on through by the time we get out to next Thursday into Friday. Now, again, we're pretty far out in the forecast, but I've been watching this over the last few days, and it seems to be a pretty robust feature coming in 14th, 15th, and 16th. So let's keep a close eye on it together. Now, to show you how much moisture is in this is precipitable water. So the higher these values go over here on the color bar, the more moisture there is in the atmosphere. So look at what's feeding into that trough that's sweeping through today. Well, as I click play and animate this, you will see the really dry air that is embedded in that trough now that the system is out over the plains. It's way over here. And that's the dry, windy conditions we're concerned about. Well, as we progress through the end of the week, things do stay on the drier side until, as you saw, Friday getting into Saturday, there's this ribbon of moisture here that could be bringing in some coastal precipitation in the day on Saturday for the coastal Oregon and Washington. But here's the push I want everybody to see. You see that tongue of moisture right in through there by the 14th starts to first take aim on British Columbia, but then by the 15th and 16th, there it is. So this narrow corridor, as currently forecast by the GFS model, will this move quite a bit in the coming days? Yes, but it's been a pretty robust feature that we need to be keeping an eye out on. Again, 15th, 16th of the month here, possibly taking aim on the northwest and parts of Northern California. Potential here for quite a bit of rainfall is what I'm trying to say. So that's why when we look out into the week 2 time frame, I have the GFS Ensemble over here on the left. You can see the effect of that flow, right? And then over here I have the European Ensemble, keeping that corridor wet for week 2 as well. So this is the main features that we're talking about as we get into next week, that ribbon of moisture coming off the Pacific Ocean. Now, before I kind of get into some hints as to why that's there, I want to talk about temperatures first. These are temperature anomalies, so departures from normal for Tuesday. We're looking specifically at high temperatures. I just want to play this out here so you can see how things evolve from Tuesday into Wednesday. Look at those departures from normal in the northwest. Thursday, it's now sunk through much of California. Friday, we hang on to the cool bias, but it finally moves out for Saturday, where we get back into close to normal, just to, anywhere between, near normal to about 6-7 degrees below average, while much of the really cool air is in the Dakotas. And then getting into Sunday and Monday. So we've got, let me just take you back here. Look at these temperature departures Wednesday and Thursday for the Northwest. 15 and in parts of Montana, 30 degrees colder than average. So let's take a look at what this means in terms of low temperatures, because this is a very sensitive time of year for low temperatures to get below freezing. This is Tuesday morning's low temperatures. Let's play this out and see what Wednesday morning has for us as the trough fully gets in. There we go. This is a lot of freezing temperatures here in like Yakima Valley, getting over toward the Palouse. Even maybe in the Willamette Valley, seeing temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. But here in kind of the higher desert of Oregon, yeah, we're freezing out. Now, we can see flirting again with freezing temperatures in the Snake Valley, but certainly parts of Montana, very, very cold. Well, that's Wednesday. Thursday's a much different scenario. Now we can see widespread frost freeze again here for the Northwest. And this does get into this section of Northern California. Well, we know that after that, moderation begins for the West Coast. So we can see by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We go back up to these temperatures that are, I don't know if the word acceptable is right here, but certainly not nearly as cold as they were. And when we take a look at what's going on in California, I'm going to show you high temperatures now. We're looking at departures from normal. So in the day on Tuesday, still a warmer than average day by 5 to 8 degrees. But what you'll notice here is that by the time that trough sinks in, this is Wednesday's departure from normal. So now we're anywhere between 6 and 10 degrees cooler than average. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we moderate toward the end of the week, but certainly some cooler air coming in middle of this week. Now, putting it all together, over the next 5 days, you can clearly see the temperature bias due to that trough in the image that's over there on the left. By the time we get into the 6 to 10 day time period, much of that colder air moves out into the central plains and things moderate a bit along the west coast, but still we don't shake the cooler bias. And even as I look out longer term, this is the 11 to 15 day forecast time period. Due to a pretty strong Pacific jet stream, we're still hanging on to our cooler bias overall in the northwest. Now, what's been messing with the longer range forecast, we brought up yesterday in the video, we have a typhoon here. And over the next 4 to 5 days, it will be going over parts of Japan, and then it gets absorbed into the upper level flow of the jet stream. And I want to show you where this is. So if I play this out, there's the deep trough that sweeps through us over the next couple of days. So this is getting into Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then eventually into Sunday. But here on Saturday, do you see this little blue blob right up here? Look where I'm pointing. That is that typhoon. And what's amazing about it is that it gets pulled into that trough, that then sweeps into the Bering Sea and over toward the Gulf of Alaska. Now, at this particular point, Tuesday, this has got the jet stream cranked right in through here. Huge thermal gradient, very, very strong winds. That's going to zone out the jet stream quite a bit. But as it approaches the west coast, that's what I've got for you for next Thursday, the 17th. That's right. We're not able to shake this pattern that keeps bringing in these troughs. And you saw in video from last Friday, the longer term trend toward a warmer October is certainly getting fooled here. Not fooled, but disrupted, I should say, by the jet stream flow in the Pacific, which is being changed by this big typhoon that right now is still several hundred miles south of Japan. So that's bringing in uncertainty in the long-range forecast, but it certainly paints a picture that the probability of the Northwest seeing above average temperatures and below average rainfall throughout the rest of October is very, very low. So I think with that bit of news, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video right here. We at Nutrien Ag Solutions thank you for watching. Hope you have a great week. Keep a close eye on the temperature patterns and those strong winds in California over the coming days. But we'll talk to you each day this week at my.nutrienagsolutions.com. Thank you.